Advaita Gadadhar Shivashri Bhaktivedanta Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Give this book. Abhishek. Nitai Pada Kamala Koti Chandra Shushitala Pada Kamala Koti Chandra Shushitala Koti Chandra Shushitala Jaya Jagata Nitai na polilo mukhe Majilo shangsha shuke Can read translation? Someone can read? I'll take it.
The lotus feet of Lord Nityananda are a center where one will get the soothing moonlight not only of one but of millions of moons. If the world wants to have real peace, it should take shelter of Lord Nityananda. Unless one takes shelter under the shade of the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda, it will be very difficult for him to approach Radha Krishna. If one actually wants to enter into the dancing party of Radha Krishna, he must firmly catch hold of the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda.
Anyone who has not established his relationship with Nityananda Prabhu is understood to have spoiled its valuable human birth. Such a human being is actually an uncontrollable animal because he never uttered the holy name of Nityananda. He has become merged into so-called material happiness. What can his useless education and family tradition do to help him?
Being maddened after false prestige and identification with the body, one is thinking, oh, what is Nityananda? What can he do for me? I don't care. The result is that he is accepting something false to be true. If you actually want to approach the association of Radha Krishna, you must first achieve the mercy of Lord Nityananda. When he is merciful towards you, then you will be able to approach Radha Krishna. Therefore, you should firmly grasp the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda.
The lotus feet of Nityananda are not illusion. They are a fact. One who engages in the transcendental loving service of Nityananda is also transcendental. Always try to catch the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda. This Narottam Das is very unhappy. Therefore, I am praying to Lord Nityananda to make me happy. My dear Lord, please keep me close to your lotus feet.
This Narottam Thakur Mahashai, Prabhupada quotes so often songs of Narottam Thakur Mahashai. Nitai Pada Kamal, Koti Chandra Shu Shital, Koti Chandra, 10 million moons. 10 million moons. Koti Chandra Shu Shital, Shital, cold, cool, Shu Shital, so cooling. Just remembering Lord Nityananda's lotus feet today, we're feeling cooled. Nitaya Charana Satta, the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda are eternal. Nitaya Charana Satta, Tahara Shebaka Nitto. And his servant is also eternal. The servant enjoys on the level as the king. Prabhupada says that. The servant enjoys on the level of the king. So we mentioned this morning we would discuss about Pundarik Vidyanidhi Mahadaya, maybe in a few days, couple of days. So we'll go in chronological order. Today we'll discuss a little bit about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his first official preaching of the holy name. The first time officially he preaches the holy name. How does that topic sound? Oh, such enthusiastic listeners. Of course, in childhood there's unofficial when Nimai was he would demand things. He would demand things. He would see the birds flying. He would say, give me the bird. He would see the moon. He would say, give me the moon, give me the moon. And he would cry and kick his feet in frustration if a parent didn't give him the moon. And then, Shabai Ekmatra Ache Mahapratikar Harinam Shunile Prabhu Arkandaya. And then they discovered like the Mahapratika, one solution. Shabai Ekmatra Ache Mahapratika, a great solution. Harinam Shunile. Harinam Shunile. If you make him hear the holy name, Harinam Shunile Prabhu Arkandaya, he would stop crying. So in this way, Jagannath Mistra's residents, there was always the chanting in the holy name. But the ladies, they were chanting in the holy name out of affection for the child. Isn't that amazing? Out of affection for the child. Oh, don't cry, look, we're chanting. Out of affection, they would chant the holy name. This is Chaitanya Avatar. So that's early. And then actually, from 5 years on, then Goshundar, he covered his opulence as the Supreme Personality of Godhead after 5 years. Before that, on several occasions, he spontaneously displayed his opulence as the Supreme Godhead. Can you think of examples?
When he was studying, then he used to defeat all the people, and then he used to defeat their...
That's after 5 years old. Before 5 years old. Opulence.
One Brahmana came to Jagannath's house and he was offering the tester and Mahaprabhu.
Very good, very good. More mantra jape, more abhan. Rohitte na pariyami ashi tomar stan. You're chanting my mantra. You're inviting me to eat. Rohitte na pari. I cannot restrain. Rohitte na pariyami ashi tomar stan. I come and I eat. He displayed 8-arm form. Other examples?
When there were two kidnappers who came to kidnap.
That's good. The two thieves, they kidnapped Nimai, they're carrying him on the shoulders, they're feeding him sandesh, and they're thinking they're going to his hideout, and they brought him to Jagannath Mishra's home. Other examples?
He caught the snake and he was dancing.
He caught the snake, yes. He caught the snake. That's Chaitanya-Caritāmṛta.
Taking prasadam in Jagdish Pandit's house.
Very good, very good. Yes, Jagadish Haranya Bhagavat, the two great devotees, and they were cooking on Ekadasi, and he said, bring me those offerings. Everyone's thinking, what? He's saying, I will eat those offerings. And then the two brothers, they were astonished, the two Brahmins. How did he know? That was the other side of Jalangi, in Sarupganj. Okay, their house was there. How did he know we were cooking? How did he know it's Ekadasi? The Lord Narayan is sitting in the boy and speaking through him, so that they fed him the boga. There was another incident that he says here, Jagannath Mishra says, bring my book. And he's going, they're hearing the sound of ankle bells. And he sees in the house the imprints of the Lord Narayan's footprint all through the house. He's thinking the Shalagram Shila walking around the house. Hey mote nane bab, aishajya dekai, balla bab pragatya paschat lukai. Balla bab, in his childhood, balla, below 5. Balla bab prakatya. He's showing he's showing his opulence as Supreme Godhead. Ballabhav, like a child play, like childhood play. Paschat Lukai, but after 5 years old, he's no longer displaying such opulences. He becomes absorbed in study. Absorbed in study. Actually, already Jagannath Mishra at home, Vrindavan Das Thakur explains at home that Shardava Shastra Bhujya Shamihito Ghore Shardava Shastra Bhujya Shamihito Goshni Majay Prabhu Porite Hoilo Chitto. Even though at home he had already understood the conclusion, Shamihito, completely, of all Shardava Shastra, of all scriptures. Goshni Majay. Goshni Majay means in a group. In a group. Goshni Majay Prabhu Porite Hoilo Chitto. He had a desire to study in the association of other students. So Jagannath Mishra took him to Gangadas Pandit's house. Gangadas Pandit told. And he became such a student. A Gangadas Pandit, no ordinary teacher. You find a teacher, you look on the Google, where is a teacher? Somewhere close by, get the bus, reasonably priced, find a school, whatever is convenient. But, so who's going to be Nimai's teacher? So, who's going to be Nimai? Near Navadipe Acha Adda Pakshiromani Gangadas Pandit Heno Shandipani. Sandipani Muni, the guru of Krishna and Balaram. He appears in Navadip, Shandipani Muni, to become the teacher of Nimai. What a student Nimai became. Joto Bhakya Gangadas Pandit Koren Shukrit Shunile Matro Tako Doren. Hearing once whatever Gangadas Pandit said. Joto Bhakya Gangadas Pandit Koren. Whatever he said. Shukrit Shunile. Hearing it once. Prabhu Doren Thakur, he remembered. Just one time. Anything Gangadas Pandit. So he became great. He became great scholar. Great scholar. Just like in Vrindavan, in Vrindavan, Krishna, he enjoys with the cowherd boys. He enjoys with the gopis. He enjoys with the senior elderly parents in Braj. He enjoys with the cows. That's called Brajalila. He's Brajabihari. Brajabihari, he's enjoyer in Braj. Different devotees, he's enjoying. So in the same way, the same person, when he appears in Navadip, all of the associates, they appear also. Brajendra Nandana Jai Shachi Shuta Hoilo Shai Balaram Hoilo Nitai. Balaram Nityananda, Mahaprabhu, Shachi Kumar, Shachi Devi, Jashodama, Jagadam Misra, Nanda Baba. They all appeared. The Brajavasis, they appeared. But instead of the cowherd men in Navadip, they're Brahmins. They're Brahmins. And the business is scholarship. Vidya. And in this way, Gaushunda, he enjoys the Vidya Leela. He's the greatest scholar. So Vrindavan Thakur, he's describing Adikonda Kotar Bhai. We're reading from the 14th chapter, Adikonda Śrī Caitanya-Bhagavat. 14th chapter. It's entitled The Lord's Journey to Bangladesh, East Bengal. Adikonda Kotar Bhai Shino Egmone. Oh brothers, listen to the Adikonda Kotar. Shino Egmone. With attention, listen. Bipra Rupe Krishna Bihari Len Jemone. Bipra Rupe, in the form of a scholar. Bipra, in the form of a Brahmin. Bipra Rupe Krishna Bihari Len Jemone. The way he enjoys Bihari Len. He enjoys pastimes in the form of a Brahmin boy. Listen to these descriptions in Adikonda. Henumote Vaikuntha Nayak Sharbakon Bidda Roshe Biharen Lai Shishagon. Henumote, in this way, Vaikuntha Nayak, the Lord of Vaikuntha Nayak, the Lord of Vaikuntha, Sharvakon, all the time. Biddarashe, the mellow of learning, Biddarashe, Biharen Lai Shishagon. He's enjoying pastimes of learning, Lai Shishagon, taking his students with him. Sharva Navadipe Nogore Shishagon Shange Bidda Roshe Krida Gore. Sharva Navadipe, all over Navadip, Nogore, in every town, in every village, in every community, Nogore. Nogor means town, but in every village, in every community, in the village, Navadip is village, there's no big town, no big apartment buildings and highways and trucks, taxis, nothing. There's people walking, not even rickshaws, just walking on sandy paths, Sandy paths, no bitumen, no roads, no pollution, no traffic jam, nothing. Horn, taxi, people walking, and maybe some Goruragari, ox cart. And then on the bank of the Ganga, no bathroom with geyser. No bathroom. Ganga Snan. Everybody is so close to the Ganga Snan. Everything in the Ganga. Ganga Jal for cooking, Ganga Jal drinking, Ganga Jal. There's no factories in Prayag and Allahabad and Varanasi. Factories, chemical pollution into the Ganga. And all the pollution, the people, they just pour into the Ganga. Where is our Kshatriya, Narendra Ji? Why can't stop this? I heard Socham Bharat. Yeah? Bharat Socham. Well, clean Ganga. We hear there's a agenda, but not yet clean. People, they're pouring the chemical waste in the Ganga. And so they measure, they say, non-drinkable. So much bacteria, we drink. But imagine 500 years ago, no factories. There's a Ganga flowing. And people are just living on the bank of the Ganga. No bathroom. Just take bath in the Ganga. So Nogare, you're wandering around all through Navadip, Sarva Navadipe, Prati Nogare, Shishyagon Shange, taking his students, Vidyarash Kridakore. This is enjoying. And what a scholar was Nimai Pandit, what a scholar. He's Dvijamani. You know, money is jewel. Dvijamani, the jewel of the Brahmins. Navadip Chandra, the rising moon. The jewel of the Brahmins of Navadip. Sharva Navadipe Sharvalo Koilo Dhoni Nimai Pandit Oddapak Shiromani, the jewel on the head of all of the professors in Navadip. Nimai Pandit Oddapak Shiromani. They don't know that he's God. They don't know he's God. They don't really care. This is a Braja Prem. In Vrindavan, in another place, Chaitanya-Caritāmṛta, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Goloke, Kebul Roti, Arshadjagyan Heen, Puri Dware, Vaikund Adde, Arshadja Praveen. This one verse, everything is there. This is Rupshika, 19th chapter, Chaitanya-Caritāmṛta, Madhva Lila, 19th chapter, Rupshika. Everything in the Bhagavatam is found in one chapter, Chaitanya-Caritāmṛta. Krishna Tattva, Bhakti Tattva, Rasa Tattva, Pranto, Shab Shikaila Prabhu, Bhagavat Siddhanto. I think one time here in Attapur, Hyderabad, I think I taught the Rupshika. Krishna Tattva, that's Sambandha Gyan, Bhakti Tattva, Abhidaya Gyan, Krishna Tattva, Bhakti Tattva, Rasa Tattva, Prayojan, Sambandha Abhidaya Prayojan, Krishna Tattva, Bhakti Tattva, Rasa Tattva. Pranto means the end, Anto. As far as you can go. Shab Shikhaila Prabhu. Mahaprabhu taught everything. Shab Shikhaila Prabhu, Bhagavat Siddhanto. Conclusion of the Bhagavatam. One chapter. So he says there, very important verse, you never hear it, but he says, Gokule Kebul Roti, Arshadjagyan Heen, Puri Dware, Vaikunt Adde, Arshadja Praveen. What's the special feature of Vrindavan? Gokule Kebul Roti. In Vrindavan, the love of Krishna, Kebul Roti, it's only about, Roti means love. Kebul Roti, Arshadjagyan Heen. They don't think Krishna is God. Arshadjagyan. They don't understand that he is the Supreme Lord. They don't care about that. That's not why they love him. You know, we conditioned souls, we show some bhakti because he's God. No, he's God. That's why. We fall down in reverence. He's God. If we don't show respect to him, Sharbanash, everything destroyed. He's God, out of fear. Huh? It's called Ashadjagyan. He's God, you have to be careful. Everyone has that. Not in Vrindavan, they don't know. They don't care. They don't love him because of that. Oh, it's Krishna, Jai Krishna. They don't care. They don't love him. They love him because of his rup, his beautiful form, his beauty, his lila, his activity, the way he reciprocates, the way he plays the flute, the way he speaks. That's why they love him. And the love is so intense. Keboroti is so intense. It's so intense that even, what's that? That Kebol Shuddha Prem, Aishadja Na Jane, Aishadja Dekleo Nija Shambhonda Shemane. Kebol Prem, we have the Bhakti Shastri graduates here, many, yes, in this August Assembly, Bhakti Shastri. Rupa Goswami, he talks about 2 types of prema. Rupa Goswami, 2 types of prema. What are they? 2 types of prema. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, nectar devotion. 2 types of prema. That's sadhana. Raganuga sadhana. Yeah. Prema. 2 types of prema. What are they? They're called Kebol Prem and Mahatma Gyan Prem. Kebol Prem and Mahatma Gyan Prem. This is the same topic. 2 types of prema. Mahatma Gyan means the prema in Vaikuntha, where they understand that he's God. And the prema in Vrindavan is Kebol Prem, where they don't understand he's God. Kebol Shuddha Prem Aishadja Na Jane. It's simple Bengali, you can understand. Kebol Shuddha Prem Aishadja Na Jane. They don't think, no concept is God. Aishadja Dekleo, even he displays his pastimes as God. Aishadja Dekleo Nija Shambhonda Shemane. Only they think in the Nija Shambhonda, the relationship, no, he's my son. No, he's my lover. Nija Shambhonda, Shemane. Not he's God, he's my son. This is Vrindavan Prema. Aishadja Dekleo, Mahaprabhu gives example, Jashoda Mata, Jasoda, Ma Jasoda. She sees the Virat Rupa, universal form. She sees. The incident, Balaram, oh, Krishna ate clay. No, he's making up stories against me. Oh, come, let me see, open your mouth. Oh, she sees Virat Rupa. She sees everything, Pradhan, Mahatattva, Tribhuvan, planetary systems, Chodda Bhuvan, 14 planetary systems. See everything. Now, when she goes back, how many people does she tell? She didn't tell anybody. Can you imagine your mother or your auntie? She sees your cousin sitting, he opens a universal form. she would never stop talking about it. If she put on her Facebook page, it would go viral. She would never say anything else. She would never forget. She would never say anything else. She was so astonished. Sachi Devi, she never even mentioned again. Because it didn't impact her very much. Because she didn't care. Kebol Shuddha Prem, Aishadja Deklayo, Nija Shambhanda Shema. No, he's my son, I have to feed him milk. So intense is the relationship. So same in Mayapur, Navadip, same. They're all in love with Nimai, they're in love with Nimai. Everyone absorbed. And they appeared just to participate in his pastimes. They're always thinking about him, they're always in love with him, but they don't know he's God. Sharba Navadipe, Sharba Lo Koilo Doni. All you could hear the sound from the lips of all the people in Navadip. Sarva Navadipe, Sharba Lo Koilo Doni. Nimai Pandit Odda Pak Shiromani. He's the crest jewel of all the scholars. And everyone in love with him as the crest jewel of all the scholars. Navadip. And he's enjoying. Boro Boro Bishai, Shakal Dola Hoite. The big enjoyers, the big materialists, the successful businessmen, they're dola hoite, they're going on a palanquin. You know how a palanquin? You have to have strong men. You can imagine these big businessmen. They're not skinny fellows. They're healthy. And the palanquin, they're made of wood. It's so heavy. maybe 100 kg, 150 kg. And the men are carrying, how much power he has. He has people just to carry him around. So when he's carrying on the palanquin, they're going past Nimai, he gets down off the palanquin. Boro biro bishai, shakal dola hoite, namiya kore namaskar bahumate. He gets down off the palanquin and pays obeisances, bahumate, with great respect to Nimai when he's walking past. In this way, he's so much respected by all the residents. Navadipe jar jota dharma karma kore. In Navadip, anyone who is doing a religious activity, jota dharma karma kore, jota dharma karma kore, any ritual, bastra, bhoja, bastra, abashai, pateye Prabhu gore, they would, certainly, abashai, they would send gifts of cloth and foodstuff to the house of Nimai in order to get blessings from him before they perform that particular ceremony. So he was, this time, so Nimai hasn't gone to Gaya. This is chapter 14, Adikonda. He goes to Gaya in chapter 17. What happens in Gaya?
He meets Ishwar.
He meets Ishwar Puri, he takes initiation. And then there's a big change. Kiba mantra dilo goshai, kibatar bol, chopati mantra korele pago. What mantra have you given me, O Master? Kibatar bol, what is its power? Jopati mantra korele pago. I become crazy chanting this mantra. In Gaya is a big. He said that in Gaya. Even before leaving Gaya, he's already crazy. What does Pika returning to Mayapur? Then everything finished. No more Vidya Lila. No more Vidya Lila. That's another topic. When he begins the Sankirtan movement in Navadip. But this is chapter 14. He's still in the Vidya Lila, in the prime. We're going to hear he's going to go on tour in Bangladesh. Because so many students, they couldn't come to Navadip. So he's at home, he's in Sachiyangan, he's in the house of Jagannath Mishra. Already Jagannath Mishra departed. And Vishwarup, Mahaprabhu's elder brother, Vishwarup Mahashai, he took sannyas. Dukhe Vishwarup Prabhu, mone gane, na dekibo log mok chale jai bone. In great pain, not hearing the glories of Krishna, Vishwarup Dukhe, Vishwarup Prabhu, mone gane, he's thinking again and again. Na dekibo log muk chale jai bone. I will not see their faces. I will go to the forest. And take sannyas, Vishwarup sannyas. So Nimai is at home. He's at home. Is this Nimai? Nimai and his wife. His wife is which wife? Lakhi Priya. His first wife. Lakhi Priya. The wedding is described, previous chapters. She's so young. She's maybe 11, 12 years old. Mahaprabhu is 16, 17. Vishnupriya, 11, 12-year-old. And she's the goddess of fortune. She's Lakhi Devi herself is the wife. And Sachi Devi is the mother. What a household life. Lakshmi is cooking for you. And Sachi Devi, what a life. And he's going and giving class. What a life. What a life. And we chant Jai Sachinandan. Jai Sachinandan, Sachi Devi. Everyone left her. In fact, she had eight children before Vishwarup, and they all died. 8 children, they all died. And then Vishwarup, how happy she was. He took sannyas. And then Jagannath Mishra, he dies. So all she has is Nimai. Nimai is everything to Sachi Mata. Sachi Nandan. Jai Sachi Nandan. Sachi Nandan. The darling of Sachi Devi. So she's cooking. Actually, Loki Priya, she's cooking, and Sachi Devi, she's serving. Loki Priya, she's cooking. So Mahaprabhu was very generous as a householder. And he gave gifts to the poor people. Dukhire dekile Prabhu boro doya kori. Dukhire dekile Prabhu boro doya kori. When you see a poor person, Prabhu boro doya kori, he was very merciful to them. Anna bastra katapati deno gauda hari. Anna, he would give food. Bastra, he would give clothes. Katapati, he would give money, cash. Deno gauda hari, he would give. Yeah. This is a householder duties. Nirabadi, Otiti, Aishay Prabhu Gore, did you know that? Nirabadi, without cessation, people were coming to the house of Jagannath Mishra. Nirabadi, Otiti, Aishay Prabhu Gore, without cessation, the unexpected means unscheduled. Otiti, Aishay Prabhu Gore. There was a constant flow of guests in the house of Jagannath Mishra, constantly. Jar, Jeno, Jogya Prabhu, Deno, Sharva Kare, and according to their respective position, Mahaprabhu would respect them accordingly. He would give gifts accordingly. In the purport, Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, guests were always properly served at the Lord's house in Sri Mayapur Navadip. Everything finished now, this culture. Everybody living in the apartment building in the city, you can't get by the security downstairs. They growl at you. No mendicants coming, no even poor people. But in Mahaprabhu's time, poor people constantly coming. And he's giving them. This is the culture. This is Vedic culture. It's all finished now in the cities in India. You cannot... Even the sannyasis and the mendicants, they cannot anymore. They cannot live like that now. You cannot get into the home. In the village, maybe. The village area. Not in the city. In Mayapur, I have a residence. I have a griha in Mayapur. One sannyasi, he comes regularly. He asks me for different things. He's a sannyasi. He lived in Mayapur 70 years. Took initiation when he was 12 years old. Brahmachari whole life. He has a little temple. He comes sometimes, he asks me for some things, a fan, this thing, this and that. You know, how can we be so cruel? How can we be so cruel? Oh, you're not in Iskcon, go away. No, we're not such a fool. This is culture, grihastha life. An endless stream of guests came. So one time, Mahaprabhu, he invited 20 sannyasis for lunch. 20 sannyasis. Just imagine Navadip. How often you see 20 sannyasis together? Have you ever seen? How many times the sannyasi comes to Attapur? How often? A few times a year. Imagine 20 sannyasis. Just consider the character, the society in Navadip Dham. How exalted the society was. Even in Mayapur festival, you won't even see 20 sannyasis. Maybe you'll see 5 or 6 in the program. 6, maybe 10 maximum. 20. And that's just a normal day in Navadip. A normal day. He meets and he invites them for lunch on the spot, spontaneous. Come for lunch. Imagine. The ladies, no ladies here. Imagine your husband invites 20 sannyasis and you get half an hour notice. So he invites 20 sannyasis. In the purport, in order to establish that every pious householder is obliged to respect the principles of ashram dharma, the Lord gave shelter and food to sannyasis and thus set the perfect example of a pious householder behavior. It is the unavoidable duty of every householder who follows the principle of varnashram dharma to provide food and shelter according to their means to the 4th ashram, renounced sannyasis, who travel all over the country for the householders' benefit. So he sent someone to tell Sachi Devi to quickly, he sent someone to tell Sachi Devi 20 sannyasis are coming for lunch. Sannyasi, 20 sannyasis. So Sachi Devi, how she responds, Gore, kichu nai, ai chinte, ai mone chinte, Gore kichu nai, ha ha. Gore kichu nai, ai chinte mone. She's thinking, oh, there's nothing in the kitchen. Gore kichu nai, ai chinte mone. This every lady will say. Oh, Gore kichu nai, nothing in the kitchen. Gore kichu nai, ai chinte mone. She's thinking again and again, there's nothing, how can we feed? Kuri shannyashir bikka hoibe kamone. Kuri shanyashi bikka hoibe kamone. How we can feed 20 sannyasis? Gore kichu nai, there's nothing. Ai chinte mone. She's thinking. Now this is very interesting. You see, the Sachi Devi. She's not thinking, oh, no problem. Nimai, he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He can invite 100 sannyasis. He will arrange everything. She's not thinking, she doesn't think he's God. She don't think he's God. She's in anxiety. There's nothing. How can we feed 20 sannyasis? He's invited them. Ai chinte mone. She's obsessed. Like she's mentally, she's disturbed in the mind. Ai chinte mone. Kuri jon shanyashi bikka hoibe kemone. How can we feed? So this is Leela, because the love is so strong. There's no room to think he's God. There's no room. He doesn't care. There's so much in love with Nimai. There's no room to think he's God. There's no room in the heart. There's so intense love. And as a Leela, he wants to perform, he wants to demonstrate, he wants to perform the principles of sannyas, the principles of householder life. So he can't act like the Supreme Lord, because he has to act like normal man to set the example. So she has to be like normal mother. And in this way he's enjoying. It's a drama. It's a drama. You like to do drama? No dramas this session. There's no interactive stuff. We're just speaking. Next time maybe we'll do the course. The Prabhupada introduced, and then you have to do drama. You like to do drama? Huh? Mahaprabhu liked to do drama. His whole life is a drama. He's a drama. He's a student, he's a scholar, his mother is there, wife. This is drama. This is enjoying, playing the role. His day is in enjoying. This is how God enjoys. But what he could choose to appear anywhere. He could be the king of many nations. But he's not. He's a simple Brahmin in a cottage, in a mati kutir, with clay on the floor and grass roof and no bathroom. It's not that, like the people that they're thinking, if I'm poor, we're born in a Gorib Desh. If I could go to Australia, they see me, Adoya Kore, Amake Australia type party din. Please be merciful, send me to Australia. Right? Mahaprabhu could have appeared anywhere. He chose to appear in a simple cottage, clay cottage on the banks of Ganga, grass roof, a simple Brahmin. This is enjoyment. This is enjoyment. So while Sachi Devi, she's in so much anxiety, she's thinking, what to do? How can I feed her? So someone arranged all ingredients required immediately manifest in the kitchen. Whilst she was in this state of complete anxiety, all ingredients for cooking, shabji, tel, chow, moshala, everything, dhoot, dohi, everything, just lost in a problem, everything just appeared. So Lakhi Devi, she's very enlivened. Lakhi Devi. Tobe Lakhi Devi giye param shantoshe randan bishesh tobe Prabhu ashi barshe. So Lakhi Devi, she's seeing all the ingredients, param shantoshe, in great happiness. Randan Bishesh, she started cooking many special items. And Prabhu Aishe, Boshe, Mahaprabhu, he arrived home and sat. So then everything's cooked, and the sannyasis are there, and Mahaprabhu invites them to sit down. And he's sitting near the sannyasis, he's personally serving them the prasadam, fed them the prasad. Whatever that, and he would inquire, what would you like? Take more of this. And Mahaprabhu fed the sannyasis. Of course, don't even mention, he didn't eat. He didn't eat until everyone's satisfied, and then they've left. But it's not even mentioned because it's so much, of course, it's understood nowadays, not everywhere. But sometimes and the host is sitting there eating with you. There's not this everything. The host has to, even the senior, the host has to feed all the guests. And they're fully satisfied. And in begging them to stay, they go, no, not that you must be very busy. You can. No, then please don't leave. Please stay a few days. In Bangladesh, it was always like that. We go and stay one night, and then they say, no, stay a few more days. Stay a few more, and they will come out on the road. We're just there one night. And the next day, they're all lined up on the road crying when we're leaving. We're only here one day. But they're saying, please forgive us any offense, and please stay longer, please stay longer. This is the culture. Grihaster Mahaprabhu Shikayan Dharma. Mahaprabhu's teaching, Grihaster Mahaprabhu Shikayan Dharma. He's teaching religious principles to the Grihastas. Otiti Sheba Grihaster Mul Karma. Otiti Sheba Grihaster Mul Karma. The foundational principle for the householder is to serve guests. That's the most important principle of householder. Serve guests. And this way he purifies his existence. He purifies his effort. Otherwise you become attached to the comforts of householder life. There's my chair. My chair. I take prasadam. My plate. Of course, in brahmachari life you can also be attached to my plate. My place for sleeping, but it's minimal. Minimal. But the grihastha life, my car, my house, my property, my son, my business, everything's so expanded. Brahmachari is still a little attached, but such a small few things is not such a big problem. My toothbrush, my tongue scraper, my gamsha. But such few things that it is so minimal. But the aham mameti in the grihastha life, everything expands. My house, my apartment, my investments, my car, my cars, my business. It's such a headache. So otiti seva, the comforts of the grihastha's life, the comforts he has to offer to the sannyasis, to the mendicants. He has to offer, you come, you sleep in my bed, you sit in my chair, you eat the food cooked by my wife. And this way he purifies his existence. He purifies existence and becomes detached. This is the duty, has to seek opportunity. So you can choose what you want in your life. If you want to become ideal grihastha, you can do that. Here's the guy. Or you can become wandering mendicant, and then you can travel and the grihasthas can serve you. The truth is you won't stay here forever. The truth is. There's training period, because you have to make room for other people to be trained. So then what? So then you go spread Krishna consciousness all over India. This is you don't stay in the same place. After you'll be here sometime, 10 years, 15 years maybe a little longer, maybe less. So then what? Then you're trained, you go. You don't need to stay in training camp anymore. And you can go and set up your own training camp and make 100 devotees. And then the others will come here. This is the system. Amar agya guru hao, tarai desh, chari dekha, tari kaha Krishna upadesh. It's Mahaprabhu's order. Mahaprabhu's you have to give mercy. So you can stay one place, be grihastha householder, and the itinerant preachers, they come, you serve them, or you become itinerant preacher, and you can travel everywhere and Distribute Krishna consciousness as you like. Grihe babonete take ha Gauranga bole dake. As you like. Grihe babonete take. Live at home, live in the forest. Ha Gauranga bole dake. Chant the name of Gauranga. It doesn't matter in Krishna consciousness. No anxiety. No anxiety. Whatever you choose will be. No anxiety. Yeah, Mahaprabhu. And there's more, it's describing the purport also. How important it is for Grihastha to serve the guests. So who were these 20 sannyasis? Who were these so fortunate 20 sannyasis that came? Who were they? Who were they? Sheshabhatiti Param Bhagyavan Lakhi Narayan Ghore Kore Annadan. Lakhi Narayan Jare Kore Annadan. Who are these? Who are these Parama Bhagyavan, extremely fortunate Otiti guests? Who were they? Lakhi Narayan Jare Kore Annadan, who were fed prasadam by Lakhi Narayan. Who were these fortunate? Who were they? Brahma, Shiv, Shuk, Vyas, Naradadi, Kori, Shur, Shita, Adi, Jota, Shachanda Bihari. Brahma, Lord Brahma. Shiv, Lord Shiva. Shuk, Shukdev Goswami. Vyas, Narad Mani Adi, etc. Shur, Shiti. Shur, the demigods. Surya, Shur, Shiti, the perfect Siddha Purushas. Jota Sachandra Bihari, all of the mystic yogis, mystic transcendentalists who can travel according to their own desire. They're called Sachandra Bihari. They can go wherever they like. Such persons. Such Lakhi Narayan, Avartirna Navadipe, Jani Shabai Aishen, Bhikhure Rupe. Lakhi Narayan, Avartirna Navadipe. The Supreme Lord of Vaikuntha and his consort, Lakhi Narayan, Avartirna Navadipe. They have appeared in Navadip. Jani, knowing this, Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Narad Muni, Shukdev, all the mystic cities and demigods, knowing this, Jani, Shab, Aishin, Bhikhure Rupe, assuming the form of mendicants. They were wandering on the streets of Navadip, and knowing that Lakhi Narayan have appeared here in order to accept alms from the hands of Lakhi Narayan, the great rishis and demigods and munis. They assumed the form of beggars in Navadip in order to receive alms from Nimai Pandit. And at Vrindavan Thakur, he describes a little bit about the behavior of Lakhi Devi, the behavior as a wife, how wonderful she was as a wife. Would you be interested to hear a little bit about her behavior? As Vrindavan Thakur explains in the beginning of Adikanda, Monodiye Shuno by Śrī Caitanya-Caritāmṛta. Monodiye, with attention, Shuno, listen, by brothers, Śrī Caitanya-Caritāmṛta, the descriptions of Lord Chaitanya. Monodiye Shuno by Śrī Caitanya-Caritāmṛta. Bhakta Shangai Jai Jai Leela Koilo Jotha Jota. Bhakta Shangai, with his devotees, Jai Jai Leela Koilo. Those pastimes he performed, Jotha Jota. Jotha Jota? Jota Jota, as it happened. Jota Jota, as it happened. Bengali Bhagavad Gita, Jota Jota. It's called Bhagavad Gita Jotha Jota. Bhagavad Gita as it is. So Jai Jai Leela Koilo, Bhakta Shangai, Jotha Jota, as they happened. Vrindavan Das Thakur is describing, as they happened. So by hearing just by hearing we can visit, be there, we can be present and witness these pastimes just by hearing. Vrindavan Das Thakur's description. Lakhi Charitra Deki Shachi Bhagyavati Dande Dande Ananda Bishesh Bore Oti. Just seeing the character of Lakshmi Devi, Lakhi Charitra Deki Shachi Bhagavati, the most fortunate Sachi Devi, seeing the character of Lakshmi Devi, Dande Dande, every moment, Anande Bishesh Bore Oti, her bliss, it increased moment by moment.
seeing the character of Lakshmi Devi. Ushakal hoite loki joto grihe karma apane koren shab ei ta dharma. Ushakal, early in the morning she would rise. Ushakal hoite, from the time of rising early in the morning. Ushakal hoite loki joto grihe karma, all of the household duties. I am Grihastha, and what I can say, many things, many benefit, many valuable things I received from my spiritual master. One was Shahar Dharmini, who was very pious, religious. And my wife, in the morning, she gets up, first thing she sweeps the place. I don't know nowadays if ladies in India still do that. Perhaps many don't. They sweep the floor, first thing in the morning. Whether they do that, some probably do, traditional. But modern girls, probably they don't. Probably they get up and immediately they're on their phone. What to speak of the West? West. What to speak of the West? Sweeping the floor. So this is a valuable. This way, if you have a wife, have a traditional wife. That do the household duties. Otherwise, what's the point in a wife? Who cooks, who cleans the house, washes clothes, cooks. That's it. What else you need? That's what a wife is for. You don't need a competitor at home who goes to the office. If you get married at all, marry a traditional wife. There's so many ladies like that. They just be happy at home. Griha karma. So she's doing, Lakshmi Devi, all the household duties. So washing the floor, washing the clothes, preparing the breakfast. And then, apane koren shab ei tar dharma. She's considering this her religious duty. She's considering this her religious duty. This is a religious duty. In order to, the purport, Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, in order to increase the happiness of her husband and satisfy her respected mother-in-law, the chaste Lakshmi Devi performed all household duties while considering herself the maid-servant of the Lord. Of course, these days, such a character, such a wife, are very difficult to find. Probably better to stay brahmachari. Such a wife, where will you find these days? They're all spoiled in school. Spoiled. Deb Grihe, in the temple room. Deb Grihe, Koren, J. Swastika Mandali, Swastika Mandali, making the decoration on the floor. So she would do that. Deb Grihe, Koren, J. Swastika Mandali, Shankha Chakra, Liken Hoi Kutahali, the Shankha and the Chakra. She would make the designs on the temple floor. Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he comments that a woman who draws mandalas with cow dung before Lord Keshava is never separated from her husband, children or wealth. One who decorates the courtyard of Vishnu temple with various colourful swastikas and pictures enjoys the highest happiness within the three worlds. In order to draw auspicious signs within the temple, Lakshmi Devi drew shapes like conchas and chakras throughout the temple and on the foundation and on the walls. And it mentions that Jagannath Mishra's home, they were worshipping the Shalagram Shila from Kaligandaki in Nepal. Shalagram Shila and Gomati Chakra Shila, Adwarka Shila. Mahaprabhu was worshipping the Shalagam Shila and the Dwarka Shila at home. Gandha Pushpa Deep Shushashtita Jal Ishwarer Puja Shajja Koren Shakal. So whatever was required for worshipping the Shalagrams, she would arrange the Gandha, the Chandan, Gandha, Pushpa, the flowers, Dup, incense, deep, the lamps, Shubhashita Jal, the scented Ganga Jal, Ishvara Puja, all the things required for the worship of the Lord, she would arrange for her husband to come and sit and do the puja. What a life! Huh? On the banks of the Ganga in a cottage, and your wife, she's as beautiful as Lakshmi Devi, and she goes to the Ganga, collects the water, collects flowers, grinds the chandan, sets the lamp, the ghee lamps, everything set up. And she says, Prabhu, everything ready? And you take bath, put on tilak, fresh dhotis, sit and do the puja. And then you finish and she comes and cleans everything. If you're going to be a grihastha at all, be a grihastha like this. Be a grihastha Brahmin. And you can, if you be a grihastha at all, be a grihastha Brahmin. But of course, in order to be, you have to get trained as a brahmachari. Become expert in puja, in shastra, in prachar, everything. Otherwise, how will you be respected? Now, what wife will respect you? What Vaishnavi will respect? You have to become expert in all aspects. Puja, mantra, shastra, prachar, everything. Preaching, arranging, everything. Have an expert. And then just by serving you, that little lady should be liberated. Just by attachment to you. Attachment to the husband. Ideal household. We were discussing yesterday, Kayadu. She was attached to her husband. That's a good quality. Lakshmi charitra deki Shri Gauri Sundor Mukhe kichu na bolen Shantoshe ontor. How did Mahaprabhu respond to her and all, Lakshmi Devi and all of her wonderful devoted service? Lokhi charitra deki, seeing her character, Shri Gauri Sundor Mukhe kichu na bolen. He didn't say anything. He didn't say anything. Shantosh ontor, but internally he was very pleased. But he didn't say anything. He never said, oh, you're so wonderful cook, oh, you're so good in cleaning, and you arrange everything, you're so faithful. He didn't say like that. He didn't say anything. Why not? Well, in this purport, Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur says that due to social injunctions and embarrassment, the Lord did not externally or publicly approve the action of his wife. But he was very satisfied seeing her service. The Lord, he would see her collecting ingredients for Vishnu worship, serving Tulasi and serving his own mother. And he was very satisfied. Konadin Lokhi Lai Prabhu Charane Boshia Takin Boda Tole Onukone. At night, the Lord would lie down and Lakshmi would sit at his feet and she would massage his lotus feet for many hours. Many hours. The relationship of Lakshmi Devi to Mahaprabhu is like Rukmini in Dwarka to Krishna. In order to be served, in a purport, Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur says that Lakshmi Priya, Lakshmi Devi, who is attached to the service in a mood of awe and reverence, often exhibited pastimes as a maidservant of Gauda. So she's it's very like the Lakshmi in the Vaikuntha realm. Very reverential in her worship. Lakshmi Sahasra Shata Sambrama Shebyamanam. Lakshmi Sahasra Shata Sambrama Shebyamanam. With great awe and veneration, the Lakshmis are serving Vaikuntha Nayak in the Vaikuntha realm. And in this way, Lakshmi Narayan, they enjoyed household life. In Navadvipa, no one could recognize who they were as the Supreme Personality of Godhead and his consort. Tobe kotodin kotodine ichchamoy Bhagavan Bangadeshe dekhite hoilo ichchatan. So suddenly, all of a sudden, Tobe kotodin ichchamoy Bhagavan ichchamoy. Bangladesh dekte hoilo ichita. He had a desire to go to Bangladesh. Bangladesh. Now it's called Bangladesh. Actually, is Bengal, what we call Bengal, is divided into different sections. West Bengal, what is was West Bengal, that's called Gaudiya in Chaitanya-Caritāmṛta. It's called Gaudiya, Gauda. A capital that was called Gauda. Gauda was the capital. It's now in the town of Malda. Malda, it's north of Mayapur, 6 hours on the Ganga. Malda. So then it was called Gauda. And Bengal was called Gaudiya, Gaudiya. And therefore the Bengal Vaishnava is a Gaudiya-Vaishnava. Gaudiya was Gaudiya. So there's Gaudiya, there's West Bengal, and there's Bangladesh, there's East Bengal. Bangladesh, Bangladesh. Purva Bengal Bhumi, Pashchim Bengal Bhumi, Purva Bengal Bhumi. So Mahaprabhu is on this side of the Ganga, he's on the banks of the Ganga. Actually Mahaprabhu, his ancestral home is in Bangladesh. Jagannath Misra was born in Bangladesh. Shachi Devi born in Bangladesh. Sri Hatta is northeast Bangladesh. Madhavendra Puri today appearance is also from the same area, Sri Hatta, just nearby the birthplace of Advaita Acharya. Madhavendra Puri Prabhupada, Srivas Thakur, Murari Gupta, Shivananda Shain, Advaita Acharya, they're all from that area. Sri Hatta, northeast Bengal, Bangladesh, northeast. And southeast is Chattogram, Pundarik Vidyanidhi Mahoday, Basudev Mukunda Datta, Balab Shain, Garadha Pandit. They're from the east, southeast Bangladesh, Chittagong, Chattogram. So it's some distance, few days journey. But they came from the Advaita Thakur, he left Sri Hatta, he came to Navadip. Srivas Thakur, he left and he came to Navadip. They came to Navadip because Navadip was the place of learning. Navadip was center of learning. Chaturdik hoite log Navadipe joy, Navadip porle shebita rashpai. From all directions, the Vaishnava Brahmins would come to Navadip. Why? Because Navadip porle shebita rashpai. If you study in Navadip, you get taste for learning. So all of the scholars and all of the professors, they all came. Advaita Acharya, Srivas Thakur, they all had their residence. Pundarik Vidyanidhi, they had their residence in Navadip. But ancestral home was East Bengal. So Mahaprabhu is desiring to go and visit East Bengal. And he's a teacher, he's Pandit. And so he goes on a tour in order to raise funds for his householder expense. He goes on the tour, and many students will come and study. So this is desire, Mahaprabhu desiring to go to East Bengal. Tobe Prabhu Jananir Bolilen Bani, he said to Sachi Devi, Koto din Pravash Koribo Mata Ami. I will go for a few days journey. Koto din Pravash Koribo Mata Ami. Oh mother, I will go journey for a few days. Lakshmi Prati to Lakhi Devi. Lakhi Prati Kohilen Sri Gaurishundor Mayer Shebon Tumi Koro Nirantor. He says to Lakshmi Devi, Mayer Sheba, the service of Sachi Devi, Mayer Sheba Tumi Koro Nirantor. Without cessation you should serve Sachi Devi. Mahaprabhu leaves, gathered a few associates, confidential students, prepared for his journey. Whilst he was leaving his home, many people had gathered just to see him depart. Strī Lok Dekhiya Bolen, and the ladies, and they saw Mahaprabhu leaving. Strī Lok Dekhiya Bole, Heno Putra Ja, whose son is that man, that youth? Whose son? Who is his mother? Who is that? Dannatar Janmatar Paye Namaskar. Who is their life has become blessed just by having such a son. I offer my obeisances to the mother of this young man. And the wife, who's the wife of this perfect gentleman? Jeba Bhagavati Heno Pailen Poti. Who's the most fortunate lady who achieved this man as her husband? Śrī Janma Sharta Korilen Shei Shoti. She has perfected her life as a wife, having a husband like that. So in this way, as he was departing, the Navadip Basi, the residents, they were all glorifying Gosundar as he was departing. And many on the bar, E Moto, Pote, Deki, Joto, Śrī, Purush, whoever, they saw him on the path as he was walking. Puna Shobai Byaka Koren Shantoshe. They repeatedly glorified the Lord as he was walking on the path through the village. So just see how fortunate the residents of Navadip that they could live in the association of Mahaprabhu just like their village member, and see his activities and see his pastimes. How fortunate they were. Henomote Goshundar Dire Koto Dine Island Padmavati Dire Padmavati River, Padma River, another in East Bengal. Actually, that is the border. As the border, Padmavati River is the border. This is Maganga. You were in Kumbh Mela. That's in Prayagraj, Sangam, Chamuna Saraswati and Ganga in Prayag, Sangam. Before that, there's others, Dev Prayag, Karna Prayag. This Ma Ganga, she's appearing in many Himalayan streams, Bhagirati and Alakananda and Mandakini. Different Himalayan streams are coming. Badrinath and what is that? Yeah, Badrinath and Bhagirati and Mandakini, in different streams. And then she Dev Prayag, she Sangam. And from there she's called Ganga. And Dev Prayag, she's called Ganga. And she comes all the way through North India, all the way Bihar, Bengal. And then at this place, actually, Gaud, where we mentioned previously was capital of Bengal, was Gaud. And then now it's called Malda. Then there's Ramkelly, Rupa and Sanatan were there also. There she splits. Ganga splits. And she heads southern direction. That's called Adi Ganga Bhagirati. Bhagirati Ganga. She goes through Mayapur. That's a course taken by Bhagirati Maharaj to bring Ma Ganga all the way to Ganga Sagar, to this the confluence of Ganga and Bay of Bengal, Kapil Ashram. So there it goes, she turns south, and Bhagirati Ganga, she comes up. The river that carries on, that's called Padma River. That flows into Bangladesh. It's called Padma River. And now that's the border of India and Bangladesh. On one side is Rajshahi. That's Keturi, Narottam Thakur's birthplace on Ransa. And the other side is Malda. It's Malda and what's that place? Siliguri, West Bengal. So Padma River. So Mahaprabhu reached the Padma River. And he stayed there. He stayed there in the Padma River. That's where he remained. Very beautiful river. Padma River, very beautiful. And Mahaprabhu, he's enchanted. We've bathed there many times at this place. Mahaprabhu, he was enchanted by the beauty of the Padma River. On both sides, beautiful forests. And he was wondering, Bhagavati Padmavati Shai Din Hoite Jog Hoilo Sharbalog Pavitra Korite. She became fully spiritualized by the touch of Mahaprabhu, and he's bathing in her. So much so that thereafter she was capable of purifying the entire creation. In a purport, Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he's explaining that the moment the Lord personally and directly immersed and bathed in the Padma, whose ability for delivering the fallen souls was not as great as Ganga, but by the touch of the Lord's lotus feet, she became equal to the Ganga in her ability to purify the people and destroy the sins of Kali Yuga. Padda Nodi Oti Deki Te Shundor. Beautiful, so beautiful. Oti Shundor. Very extremely beautiful to see. Taranga Pulin Sotra Oti Monohar. It's beautiful, the flowing and the streams and the current and the banks, so beautiful. So being enchanted by the beauty of Padmavati river, Mahaprabhu remained there a few days. In fact, he was reminded of his pastimes in Navadip, just on the banks of the Padma river. And such a relationship Mahaprabhu had with Jhanobi Devi. Bancha kalpa taru Sri Gaura Shundor Jhanavira Bancha Punna Kore Nirantor. The desires of Maganga, Jhanavira Bancha Punna Kore, he's always fulfilling. Punna Kore Nirantor. He's constantly fulfilling the desires of Maganga. And so he's remembering his affection for Maganga on the banks of the Padma river. Bangadeshe Gauchandra Korila Prabesh Adda Pihar She Paga Dhanna Bangladesh. So the land of Bangladesh, it became blessed by the presence of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Bangladesh Gauchandra Korila Prabesh. And everyone heard, all of the people heard that Nimai had arrived on the banks of the Padma river, Padmavati, Tire, Rohilen, Gauchandra, Shune, Sharbalo, Boro, Hoilo, Anando. How you like hearing the poetic descriptions of Vrindavan Das Thakur? How do you like hearing that? It's so beautiful. Padmavati Tire, Rohilin, Gauchandra, Shuni, Sharvalo, Boro Hoile Anando. I become overwhelmed with so much happiness hearing that Mahaprabhu had come to the banks of the Padmavati river. Yeah, he mentions Faridpur, the area is called Faridpur in Bangladesh, banks of the Padma river. Nimai Pandit Addapak Shiromani. Ashi and Achin Sharva Dike Hoilo Toni. Sharva Dike Hoilo Toni. All you could hear in all directions. Nimai Pandit Addapak Shiromani. The crush jewel of the professors, Nimai Pandit, has come. Bidda Prabhav. Dekhi, Bidda Prabhav means the power of his learning. Bidda Prabhav, Dekhi, Chamatka, Chitte. All of the students became astonished in their hearts, hearing the power of his learning. Bidda Prabhav, Dekhi, Chamatka, Chitte, Shota, Podiya, Ashe, Lagiya, Porite. Hundreds and hundreds of students came to study from Nimai. And I was explaining that it's very difficult for us to travel to Navadip. You have to have finance, you have to have arrangement, you have to go somewhere to stay in Navadip. And so there's so much endeavor. It's such great fortune for us that you have come to East Bengal, personally come to our doorstep. The center of education at the time, Nimai Pandit was famous as the creche jewel of all teachers in Navadip. And students desired to study under him alone, but for one reason or another they were not able to go to Navadip. So they felt so fortunate that the crest jewel of teachers, Nimai Pandit, had personally arrived on the banks of the Padmavati. And they praised their extraordinary good fortune. And they mentioned that we've studied your commentaries. We've studied your commentaries. So Mahaprabhu's commentaries, somehow or other, they'd made their way to East Bengal, where they are written down. It says here they're studied. And so already they're his followers. Already they're conversant. He sent the student handbook in advance. Get prepared. And what was his teaching? All the details are here. The scholars residing on the banks of the Padmavati studied and taught their students with the help of the commentary on Kalapa grammar that the Lord composed. Where is that commentary now? Here it is mentioned. So the crest jewel of teachers and a few students from the banks of the Padma had collected his commentary and returned to their villages and given that commentary to their teacher. In any case, we do not find the Lord's commentary in a book form anywhere. And Sanatana Saraswati Thakur explained it. Lost. Lost. Now, because of Mahaprabhu visiting Bangladesh at that time, Shai Bhagye Addapiha Sharva Bangladeshe Śrī Caitanya-Caritāmṛta Śrī Purushe. Because Mahaprabhu, he went to East Bengal and he blessed that country by his visit there. So even today, Śrī Caitanya-Caritāmṛta Śrī Purushe. The men and the women of East Bengal, they perform Śrī Caitanya-Caritāmṛta. They're very much attached to performing the Sankirtan. Still now, we've traveled extensively in Bangladesh, and so many amongst the Hindu people, their worshippers mainly Radha Krishna. In Bangladesh, the Hindus, they're worshipping Radha Krishna or Nitai Gaur. And you won't find worshipping other forms of the Lord, what to speak of demigods. They're worshipping Radha Krishna and Nitai Gaur in Bangladesh. Even when we opened Bhanu Swami, His Holiness Bhanu Swami Maharaj, your GBC? Yes, GBC? Yeah. Yes? He mentioned he was there many years ago in Pundarik Dham, Chattogram, where we installed the deities of Varshabhanabi Murari, that His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, he mentioned, he refers to those deities as his Ishta Devata, his worshipable deities. Varshabhanabi Murari means the young daughter of Vrishabhanu Maharaj and Murari, the deities of Radha Krishna there. Because Pundarik Vidyanidhi we'll discuss in a few days, he's Vrishabhanu Maharaj, Pundarik Vidyanidhi. So his residence there. We installed the deities, Varshabhanabi Murari, Radha Krishna. And Bhanu Maharaj was telling me, all of the local people, they were astonished to see that we perform fire yagya. They were astonished, they'd never seen before. They were saying, how is it that the Gaudiyas can perform fire yagya? They're so advanced. In a conclusion, they're so advanced that they understand that Kali Yuga Nam Sankirtan is the Jagya. Was that? Sango Pangashta Parashadam Jagya Sankirtana Praya Yajanti Jagya Sankirtana Praya. They understand why they're performing fire yagya. There was a big controversy. Iskcon installed deities perform fire yagya. What is this? Gaudiya is performing fire yagya. What is this? That's how elevated the local village people are. So much Mahaprabhu visited that place. Of course, that's a very special place because so many Mahaprabhu's associates, they appeared there, Chittagong. Jai Deshe, Jai Kule, Vaishnava Avatare, Ta Prabhave, Lokayojan Nishtare. Vrindavan Das Thakur explains, Jai Deshe, that country, Jai Kule, that family, Vaishnava Avatare, where the Vaishnava appears, Ta Prabhave, by his power, Lokayojan. Yojan is 8,000 miles. Lokayojan, 800,000 miles. Nishtha, delivered. And so many Vaishnavas appeared in that area. Jaistane Vaishnav Gordin Vijay Shaistan Hoy Oti Punna Tirtamoy. The place where the Vaishnava appears, that Oti Punna Tirtamoy, a holy place of pilgrimage. And so many Mahaprabhu's eternal associates, they appeared in that land. All nearby. Vasudev Datta, Mukunda Datta, Pundarek Vidyanidhi, Gadada Pandit, Murari Gupta. So many, they all appeared. So how special that land is. Henamote Sri Vaikuntanath Gauchandra Bidda Rashe Kore Prabhu Bangladesh Ranga. And this way Mahaprabhu enjoyed his pastimes in Bangladesh, Vidyarash, enjoying the mellows of learning in Bangladesh on his visit there. Koto Shata John Badiya Labia. Some students received a certificate. Badiya Labia. Imagine that, you got a certificate signed. Nimai Pandit. Nimai Pandit, certificate. Gore Jayar Koto Ashe Shuniya, and some were just coming and listening. Now it was too much for Lakshmi Devi to be separated from the Lord, and what happened to her we'll discuss tomorrow evening. So any question this evening? So we'll reconvene tomorrow evening, 5 o'clock. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jai Shri Nitya Gaudiya Siddhanath Brahmanandi Hari Hari Bol.